we got this idea that we wanted to take things to another level, so we got Power Plant involved. In the first year, it was Rams Head on Friday, and then Rams Head and 6 venues in Power Plant on Saturday. So that was the first official full day of the whole thing. And the following year, Tin Roof opened up, so we added Tin Roof, and we added 2 days. So it was Rams Head Live on Friday, Rams Head Live on Saturday, and 7 venues in Power Plant on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
But that was the snow year. So a lot of people don't really remember that year because it got snowed out to a point that like 4 venues didn't open, but some venues did, and some bands canceled, and some bands didn't. So we had to like combine all these people like, oh, you're not on that stage no more, you're on this stage. And like, what about the ticket? Like, don't worry about the ticket. Your people will be fine getting in. But like, we made it happen, you know what I mean? And we survived that snow year. And then, you know, now in the following year, we had a soundstage, but we were only able to add them on just Saturday at that time because they already had the Friday booked. And that's the year we did Red Band. So then last year, something happened in the paperwork. I'm not taking no swipes, but we couldn't get Rams Head on Friday. So this year is the first full year of Frozen Harbor with 10 venues, Friday and Saturday. So Rams Head Live, 7 venues inside Power Plant, Baltimore Soundstage, and Tin Roof, because Tin Roof is actually its own entity. A lot of the places in Power Plant are actually all under the Cornish Company. So it's all like one ticket gets you everything. Well, Tin Roof is a part of the Power Plant ticket, but they are actually their own entity. They're owned and operated by someone else. They just lease from there, just like Rams Head Live.
Okay.
So it's 10 venues. It's 160 total acts. Everything from country to metal to EDM, ska, reggae. Just start blurring them out. Shout it out.
Country, would you say rock, hip hop, rap, R&B?
Right.
But do they have classical music though?
I mean, they
No,
can.
they do-
We
not-
have horn section. There are people with.
Listen,
I mean,
Howl at the Moon.
14-piece
Howl at the Moon
band.
is a piano bar. Don't think I ain't been thinking about that for like 2 years.
I mean, you know, you look at what these bands are sending in, like the equipment they're using, and there are people that are like, well, we got 6 horns.
Just horns. Like, we're like, how many people are going to be on stage with you? They're like 13.
Yeah.
And Ryan calls me. He's like, yeah, they said 13. And I'm like, what does that mean? He's like, I'm just wondering. And I was like, Ryan, this isn't a hip hop show. Like, these dudes have all instrumentation. Like, they don't have a DJ.
Right. Damn. That's going to be dope, yeah.
Yeah, it's always.
That's cool. It is, and I had fun last year, man. Last year, I really did. I had fun last year. I got to see, we got to see Drew Hill.
Oh, man. That was
And we got to see
And
Onyx.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, Onyx was a little undersold. And that's the weird thing about it is, like, people were like, oh, man, you know, even Sticky came to me at the end and was like, hey, man, like, we don't like bad relationships with promoters. Like, is there anything we could have done different? I was like, nah, man, you know, this stuff happens. And he's like, but did you take a loss? And I was like, if we're being honest, on this room, yeah. But is this festival? Absolutely not. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't weigh it like that. It's like having an apartment that's not like up to the standards. We can tweak that again every year. And that's why this year, instead of going with a bigger headliner and trying to throw money at the situation, I was like, everybody's complaining about mumble rap. Everybody wants this. They want bars. And I'm like, who do I know? And I'm like, Drag On. I'm like, Saigon. And then I'm like, all right, this isn't enough. People are going to complain. It's going to be too much money for them. They're not going to want to do this. I'm like, well, last year I had Scar. I was like, so this year I'll bring back Comp. Comp's stage show is second to none in the city. His stage show, and only I'll tell you that because that was one of the first things he said to me. He said, have you ever seen him perform live?
I love
said,
Comp.
That man is a
Shout out to
maniac.
Comp, man.
Shout out to Comp.
Yes, he is. I love it.
And then I was like, starting to get that, like, all right, we're going to put the bands and rappers as part of our rotation. And I'm like, I don't think this show's done yet. And then I was like, Dee Trinata was on with Team Cremate last year. And I know she wants to do some stuff at Soundstage. What a better way for her to audition for Soundstage and me to bring her back, you know what I mean, to keep the thing going, you know what I mean? We like to have features on sets. Me and Only actually, that's how Only and me met. Only was a feature on the song Lights Out.
He didn't like me.
And I told you all this last time.
Told me as soon as he met
Oh
me,
no,
he was
I don't know if I should say anything about EV with all y'all sitting there. Like,
Come on. Oh, yeah.
it's different. Last time I met,
automatically beefing 'cause
I did. And I was like, I remember it. You know, he came in and he was. You know, my boy's like, oh, this is this dude Only. I'm like, okay. And Only's trying to rap his verse, and he's fumbling it because he just wrote it. And Snaps had a really good memory, so Snaps kicked his off, and I was like, oh, yours was dope. I was listening to his, and he's fumbling over. I'm like,
Keep
oh,
writing.
I'm like, hey, you mind if I get a hook on this? And like, I went home and sat down. And 15 minutes later, I was like, the hook's done.
Right.
And I'm like, I hope that other guy can remember his verses. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Shot me.
and
Shot
then
me
we went to the
cold
studio
blood.
and it was real tense. He was there with his manager and his girl. I'm there with just me and my artist. And then after that, like literally, I think it was our first show, and then that was it. And then we figured out the respect level for each other.
Absolutely.
But again, after him, the next thing we did was only got his own show after winning Show Me What You Got, number one.
Yep.
And he opened up for Redman and Sonar, and he brought Savage out. So like it became this pay it forward thing, you know what I mean? Like you always put somebody else on your set. So that's what I'm trying to do with the same thing, like Team Cremate Detronata. Well, then I got the Detronata thing down, and I'm like, I don't know, man. It seems like I'm just trying and reaching now. Now I was like, Takeo Bang, let's go. I was like, let's have a Takeo Bang Detronata Power Hour. They got songs together and everything, so let's give them a little bit of a set of their own. Let's not spoil too much.
Yeah.
We're not going to tell all of
I'm looking forward to that.
Can I say something? I want to just kind of build on something on what Frank was talking about. One of the most important things about Frozen Harbor, and that means Frank Lewis, the One Coast, Frank's partner Rob, is every conversation is about preserving the culture. From the outside looking in, and that's the culture of music in general. But from the outside looking in, I know that people create perceptions. People may meet us at different stages in our night where we might have been more sober at one point, but you know how tension and energy get, and sometimes I think because of that, people automatically create these misconceptions, and I'm saying Frank is one of my best friends. You know what I mean? Like I can't even describe. It's like that. I can't describe it.
Like I have keys to his house.
Yeah, he got keys.
Right.
He has a key to my house.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what's
real.
up, though. That's what's up.
But I say all that to say that the way that he considered the lineup, even when we talk about the headliners and things we're cycling through and people we want to look at, I may go far right. I may go young. I might be like, yo, we got to get there. He's like, that's not the culture.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
I'll say it out loud, and I ain't afraid to say it. I had a chance to have Cardi B. I passed.
Word.
I'm talking, listen. The money was right. That matter of fact, the money wasn't right. The money was stupid low.
But
CAA called me and was like, "We got these things," and I called my partner Rob and I said, "Yo, Cardi B is a guaranteed sellout. We don't even have to put an opener on the motherfucker." I said we could just book Cardi B and call it a day. I was like, "We'll put openers on it because that's what we do at Frozen Harbor." I was like, "But we don't have to do nothing."
Right.
And he's like, okay, cool, I don't know. So I called a few people, and they were like, well, right now, Bodak Yellow is all she's got, and it doesn't, And then the next thing you know, her and Offset relationship blow up. The next track started coming out, and I'm calling him, and I'm like, we can still get her, yo. And he's like, it's not the festival. It's not. And after that, the thing is that he's selling me. Because then, where the culture thing he's talking about is, at the beginning, I'm like, this isn't the way the festival's supposed to run. Cardi B is the sore thumb sticking out. I don't want to send the wrong message to Cardi B fans, and I don't want to send the wrong message to Frozen Harbor fans. Not One Coast fans, Frozen Harbor fans. People that come to Frozen Harbor for the culture of all the different eclectic music in Baltimore City.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I'm calling him. I'm like, hey, man, like, you sure? And he's just like, no. We already have our direction. We're and that's the thing about being friends with somebody is they can look you in the face and tell you when you're finally that's the biggest downfall of everybody in the music industry. They don't have friends that keep them grounded. You know what I mean? I'm glad I didn't book Cardi B, and I don't regret it. You know, I'll find the next Cardi B next year, and I'll be like, oh, this person's get ready to bubble. Like, let's do
I
that.
lost friends for saying no.
right.
I lost family for saying no.
Right.
I'm fine.
It's all good though. Well, we're going to take a commercial break. Today's broadcast was brought to you in part by the Hip Hop Hall of Fame Museum and Hotel, where hip hop culture and history lives. The Harlem, New York-based nonprofit 501c3 is focused hip hop music and culture from around the world. For more information, visit www.hiphophof.tv today. We're Real Spit Radio. We'll be right back. Hey, I didn't do too bad. Cheers.
I didn't do too bad. Cheers. We'll see if I can fumble that next time.
Yeah. They take y'all to our world for a minute. Take you to Knoxville, you hear me? Let me step out the box. Real quick, real second.
BL banger, banger.
It's Knoxville. Yeah, that's how we own it, own it, own it. That's how we own it, own it, own it. Banger, Bill. Yeah, that's how we own it, own it, own it. That's how we own it, own it, own it. Yeah, it's just the life for the chemist. Notice how a G-Ride chasing down a buck, sucker ducking about my P.I. Reside over west, hella fam on the east side of Soldier. Surrounded by G's, beats get deep fried. I roll up the finest, known to throw a lineman, but known to flood the market in the streets where you find them. What most niggas talking, homie, did it from the jump. The dope boys saluted and the hoppers call them. Yeah, I'm on my shit, little nigga, on the chase for my fella. You hate it, but can't stop. Beat. I tell my belly bad mouth in the moment. If it's a problem, big homie, you can't stop. Beat. I'm doing me company, I've been running VIP when I come in, they can't stop. Beat. QW is a must for this paper that I touch, but can't stop. I walk by my lonely, kept it 103, strictly piff in my stove. Take a look and see, keep it G what they told me. Since he was a snot nose, trapping for a hoagie. Now the same niggas owe me. Been on the ride, my niggas still waiting, so that's why I stay fried. Stuck in the same position, see the struggle in my eye. Niggas they cold feelings, but they quick to slap me five. I just slam to the side, man. Yeah, I'm on my shit, big homie. I knew how them niggas phony, but fuck them, they can't stop. It's not good up in this bitch. Niggas thinking niggas seeing me, but thinking need to stop. See me at my place of business. Trust me, the hood is in them, that's me. We'll never stop. Connect with real niggas, got some punks in your feelings. They hate you, but can't stop. Cut out the crap about mines, and that's just how I'm living. 9 to 5, keep pushing no matter how I get it. Forever shine, go get it, never slack off. Just wanna see my fam eating good, that's all. It's all the same, got me thinking out the box. So when one day get a change, till that day I can't stop. Till the Lord send for 'em, all the folks come and get 'em. Instead of hating on 'em, won't you smoke something with 'em? Yeah, I'm doing me, I try, told him, boy, got this thing in motion, bitch, smoking will never stop. Be it for all my niggas coming home, all my family gone, I swear I never stop. Try to make my own mark, all the while the haters talk, but fuck 'em, they can't stop. Grind hard is the motto, trendsetter, never follow the term, it could never stop. Been there, done it, ain't telling this nigga nothing, you ain't bout it like you claim. Little homie, why you stuntin', let the boy do his thing. Come off way different, don't compare him to the lane. Product of where I'm living, see the chemist will remain. Bring the dark to the light, slide through, screw your bird, dipping off for the night. That's how I do, boss that man, the fuck I gotta prove. Ain't no he true to it, got him loving what I do. Yeah, it's not good up in this bitch. Niggas thinking niggas see him, it's ridiculous, need to stop. QW is a must for this paper that I touch. They hate it, but can't stop. I'm doing me, company up and running. VIP when I come in, they can't stop. I'm on my shit, little nigga, on the chase for my fatty. They hate it, but can't stop. Yo, we back, man. Real Spit Radio. I'm your host, K-Mac Knoxville.
And this your girl, Tammy Too Much.
And I'm Frank Lewis with One Coast Entertainment.
And I'm Ryan Pratcher Bay, a.k.a. Only with One Coast Entertainment.
Fantastic.
All right. With the deep boys, the men voice.
Wow.
So, man, do you got any new music coming?
There's always new music coming.
Right.
I got something. I got my hand in. I can't talk
You
too much
stingy,
about it.
yo.
Well, I like to be.
He tell me this every time. Like, yo, what's
I know,
up?
but listen, but the thing is,
yeah.
it's kind of part of the game. Like,
Yeah,
a lot of people tell too much. A lot of people.
Right.
I like to
True,
be
There's
honest.
no element of
Right.
surprise.
It's kind of like I kind of want to feel like you ever get that feeling, that looming feeling, like somebody behind you. That's how I want people to feel. So when it come, you know what I mean? Like the build
Listen,
up.
if we do it right this time, this next record is literally like we're gonna wait till step on somebody's neck on purpose.
Yeah.
Like intentionally.
But when you're not hearing music, I'm writing music. You know what I mean? And not just music for myself, music for other people. The production element with One Coast, I'm like behind the scene, making the machine move.
Right.
Like, he legitimately runs my company.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But in that, I learned from musicians. So when I went and did Go-Go, I had did so much stuff with Frank that it was nothing to just click with a band. And as an MC, so you know what I mean? It's so many elements, parts that we studying in this is different than everybody. You already know.
See, that shit is something different, man. That it's like I always say, it make me feel like I'm laying in the beat.
Right.
Being in, like, you on stage, you got keys right here or bass, and the drums behind you or whatever you got, and it's like all around you.
Right.
That shit make you. That's why they motherfuckers break up their guitars and shit, man.
Right? Yeah,
That
true
shit-
that. Hey,
you
listen.
kick over some shit, man.
No, that wasn't Frozen Harbor. That was just a random show you were running.
My bad.
Yeah, this kid got the feeling himself, started smashing his guitar on the stage, and the production manager came out at the time, and it was a female, and she said, "Hey, what's your problem? You can't just do that because you can like wreck the stage that way." Yeah. And he said, "Shut up, bitch." and Ryan came, was like, "I got to talk to you." I was like, "What's wrong, man?" And pulled him. He was like, "Yo, broke his guitar on the stage." I'm like, "So what?" He's like, "He called her a bitch." I was like, and that's why I'm putting her name out because I don't want anybody to feel like. Listen, he's like, he called her a bitch. I was like, "Where the fuck is he at?" Like, you don't know. You ain't ever gonna talk to staff like that. Never.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? You was feeling yourself. That's cool. I'm about to fuck you up for that. Like, all these fans about to leave here. I'm about to fucking load you up. You know what I mean? Like,
but I'm always, literally always.
that kid's a client now, by the way.
Right, yeah,
Did you hear me?
Yeah.
That kid's a client now.
Yeah, that's what I do. I
It'll be
make sure
signed
I
the whole
get up in there
Oh,
at least
my
like
goodness.
2-3 times a week.
Yeah, it's got, and now I'm taking interest in making the music, like knowing I got the experience. You know, when I submit my resume to something, I'm a vocalist, I'm a musician. I ain't just, you know, I got a story. I was in LA the first time I went to LA, and I was sitting with a guy who was gonna fund a project for something they were submitting to Netflix, and he turned to me. He stopped talking to the guy who was talking to him. He turned to me and he said, "Well, what do you do?" And I was all proud. I said, "I'm an MC." The dumbest thing I've ever done.
I'm an
Right?
MC.
Now, it was true. It was true, but that was not the right answer. So then I
right.
started looking at my music in a scope and my experience in the scope. With the skills I've built through I can go anywhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm a digital nomad.
Right.
Digital nomad. So.
I hate that question sometimes.
What
What do you do?
Oh yeah. Oh, listen. And the worst
Here
part
we
is,
go
I don't
with this.
hate the question. I hate that when we answer it honestly, that there's some kind of
Yeah.
stigma with it. It's like it's okay to say you're a rapper if you're just a rapper, but if you're a songwriter and you're like, oh, you know, I'm a songwriter, but you know, I'm predominantly a rapper on stage. You know, for anyone to purse their nose, like I know a lot of successful people that nobody's ever heard of.
Right.
Like they write music to go on Netflix. They write music to go have someone else rap their lyrics. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was funny. This one kid came to me one day, and he was totally into band scene, and he's like at my house. Never met him before, but he was on tour with this other guy that I was representing, and he goes, "You ever heard of Sauce Money?" And I'm like, "Of course I heard of Sauce Money." He's like, "Nobody's ever said that to me before." When I've said, "You heard of Sauce Money?" I was like, "Well, what's the question?" He's like, shows me his email. Sauce Money had reached out to him to help write a hook for a Will Smith record, and we're talking like 2-3 years ago.
Right.
And I was like, listen, and I was like, yo, immediately I woke the other dude up. I was like, yo, we are going to write this hook right now. And I was like, I don't even care if I ever get credit for it, but like to be able to write for a guy like Sauce Money when he writes for people like Diddy and everybody else, I mean, Jay-Z, I mean, like Sauce Money is that ghostwriter behind the ghostwriter behind the ghostwriter.
Right.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like he's that dude. So like it's so much respect for the writers. And,
Right.
and actually on this new record, like I've actually changed some of Only's lyrics, which is new. Only is
I
never
don't
let
let
me
people in my space.
Only's never.
I don't. But the new,
Only's never
I
let
don't
me in the
either.
crib.
look, the new studio energy though is we just creating. So you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So when the
some-
music comes
But
out,
like Only writes fire, and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, do it again, and he does it again, and I'm like, no, that's not right. And I come back with something that is dumbed down, but hits even harder, and he's like, okay.
yeah, just put
Right.
it in there and
He's-
keep it
he's-
moving.
he's-
Yeah.
I'm gonna write something lesser than he just wrote, and I'm like, how do I tell this guy that wrote a great thing that I'm gonna write a better thing, but it's not gonna
But
be
it's not
great.
gonna be great. Yeah, everybody gets part of the check. Everybody,
Right.
everybody
Hey,
gets part of the
I'm
check.
open to ideas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I have, once I started doing that, because at first, in the beginning, I'm like, no, I got my shit. Ain't nobody, fuck that. You know what I mean? I'm good. But once I got older, I start, valuing people's opinion and stuff like that, because I realized that they can hear something that I don't hear, you know what I'm saying? And you got to respect that, you know what I mean? So, yeah. I started
listen, I'll tell you when I knew I was respected as a writer of Ryan Pratchett Bays. He had my studio equipment in his basement.
Why you gotta say his name like that?
Because that's what we're here. That's what we're here.
Director, actor, entertainer.
But as a songwriter, he's Ryan Pratchett Bay. The performer is Only. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, his real, we're going by our governments because we're here to be professional about Frozen Harbor. And there are gonna be people. Listen, all the people at y'all show is gonna call him Only. And he's going to answer to Ryan. He's going to correct people who don't know him properly and say Ryan. And anybody else at the festival in the other 19 rooms are going to call him Ryan.
So I can call you Only, right?
I mean, you can.
All right.
He may say Ryan.
It depends on how I feel.
I'm not Only today.
I'm
not feeling like
Ryan.
it.
So I convinced Only to do something he doesn't like doing. Only is not vulgar in his lyrics.
Oh God.
So I convinced Only to say some extreme vulgarity.
Man,
at the end of a verse.
Vulgarity.
He was like,
Can I get a sample of it so I can make sure it's vulgar?
Something about I can't say.
Listen, I'll say it. At the very end of it, he was kind of fading off on the verse, and I was like, "What are you saying there?" And he's like, and he was telling me, I don't even remember what he was saying originally, and I was like, "Nah, that's not hitting. That's the end of a verse, man. Like it's got to really hit." And he's like, "Well, what?" And I was like, "Say bust in her mouth." So guess what? And so he writes it back, and it's so hard. The dude whose track it was he was featuring was like, "Yo, I love it," and I was like, "Done." So he leaves it on there just to be cool to the go along, get along.
Fuck it.
So we start writing together. I'm starting to get comfortable telling him things. He's got a side little thing going on. I don't know if I can say who I was with, but I stood up in the studio one night.
Oh, chill.
And it's just the two of them. The guy who's working on this big project and Only. And I walk in, and the guy's playing, and in the middle of it, I hear this vulgar ass shit about, what did you say?
Something about a bitch. I don't know.
I bust on her foundation.
How's it go? I don't know. Something about
crying
plantations and busting on foundations.
No, you said I'll bust my nut on her foundation. And anyway, listen. In the middle of it, I just went like this. I was listening. I heard it. I was like, I looked at it. I was like,
that's it.
I was like, you know what? I was like, good for you. Good for you. I have influenced Only. Mission accomplished.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird growing and kind of becoming conscious and being aware and being like, how do I don't want to say bitch. But sometimes bitch is the word, and it may not be a woman. It might be a feeling. Right. Like I tell my children, I say, cuss because you passionate, not because you mad. Like you gotta put an exclamation point on what you saying. So sometimes you gotta you a bitch and really.
Yep, you got it. You're right.
Yeah.
It is. It's an attitude.
It's language. So.
That is different. I've never heard that before.
Yeah. Now you guys know the secret.
See, being a writer though, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like I write off emotion. So whatever I'm feeling or whatever the track take me to, it might take me to a situation. You know what I'm saying? It depends on, or if it's just something I just feel like go hard on. You know what I'm saying? You might hear some shit. Like,
right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
I guess the best way of putting it is like, because right into emotion and feeling like, yo, think about Pac, set him up. I mean, the verse was good. It was all right. But he starts it off with, "That's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker." Like, from there on, that dude could have said anything. It could have turned into not being a diss track. Right. And we would have been like, damn. Like, that's what he means by like the passion. It was like, it was the way he enunciated it and spoke it proper.
It's so bad.
Boom.
Dude, when I be on stage and I get to the part where I gotta cuss, I be like, there's somebody's mother in here. There's some old lady in the back who I don't want to think
not
of
gonna
me.
lie to you.
If they tell me not to, you can't curse. I'm gonna come prepared not to.
Right. No, that's cool. No, that's
real. When I'm in the show and I'm in my zone,
it's bitches galore.
First of all, I don't even see nobody.
Right.
First of all, I don't even see nobody, and I can do it not even realize. Right. You know what I'm saying?
I'm thinking about all of it. I'm thinking about the temperature.
I'm
thinking about everything.
He's very particular.
Shouldn't be there. They should have warned you before you got there.
He's a hard act to prep.
But if you put me in the street, if you put me in the cipher,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I'll say
you'll go
anything.
anything.
I'll say
You're
anything
supposed to.
goes.
'Cause that's when you
Listen,
protect.
another story
that's when
about
you
him in
protecting
Austin,
yourself.
Texas. Down in
You know
South
what
by
I'm saying?
Southwest. Ryan is very serious in the middle of his set. He's rapping, and I'm like recording the set from the stage from my cell phone. And he looks over at me because other people had been climbing on the bar the whole time. And he looks at me in the middle of the song. He's like, basically like, "Can I get up there?" And I'm like, so I put a chair up, and he climbed right, and he rapped on the stage with deer antlers and shit hanging from the ceiling. It was like a dive bar, but we had our like show there, and it was funny.
This is Texas, South by
Southwest, yeah. And
Oh,
he
okay.
went on right before Nokio's Black Angel Down band, and I had just been telling Noke like, "Yeah, you really got to check him out." He's like, "Yeah, man, like I already owe your other homeboy a favor with a track," and I was like, "Okay, cool, man. I don't want to press you." Soon as Only got off that damn bar, Nokia walked up. He's like, "Oh, I didn't do music with him." Like it was exciting.
Right,
like,
right.
You know what I mean, like Only's really serious. His surroundings are a big deal to him.
Right.
If he saw other people on the bar, he wanted to know why he wasn't on the bar. He didn't. There wasn't any copying. He's like, "The stage is only but so wide. Can I use more?"
I'm doing it.
Right.
At
You act
this
up
point,
down there, man.
Oh yeah, yo, that was South by. I mean, I feel like I've done a lot to validate how hard we work, how
Right.
hard I've worked in this, how much help I've had. South by Southwest was just love. I felt like I was in it. I was doing the social media. I was doing all the parts. Right. I bumped into Jack Thriller down there,
Okay.
and I did it real humble. I met him before when I was in New York, and I bumped into him and I slid him a CD and wouldn't look at him. I said, "All right, homeboy, check that out when you get a chance." I walked about 10 feet away. He said, "Only?" And I'm thinking, like, there's 300,000. How many people are there? There's a lot of, this is you can barely get around. And this dude remembered me and grabbed me and picked me up. And he deals with artists all the time. But the
Right.
fact that validated some stuff. Having the opportunity through One Coast, once again, traveling, being on the road,
Right,
getting
that's
that
the
van
thing.
with those people, and
The van was,
stinking.
oh my goodness.
Like,
That's
you
what's
know,
up.
using rest stop restrooms and all that.
Right.
What was
yeah.
I trying to do in the Mississippi River? Was I trying to baptize myself?
Yeah, something like that. but that type of stuff.
No, because I said, dude, I was like, dude, seriously, I was like, Ryan, I was like, we're a couple kids from the city. I was like, we was not supposed to
never
touch the
be
Mississippi
there.
River with
Right.
our
Never be
hands.
there.
I was like, let's just at least touch it with our hand or something. And everybody goes, you're gonna fall in. You're
Right.
gonna fall in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But good. But see, again, all of it comes for me as an artist. In general, it all comes full circle. Like you said,
Right.
the emotional thing. Well, on the conscious level, the Mississippi and the Nile are parallel. So you know what I
Right.
mean? So being there and then seeing the Bass Pro Shop designed like a pyramid right on the Mississippi.
Oh, yeah, down in Memphis,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
in
So I
Memphis.
have those surreal moments, and it make people not hearing music,
Right.
but me having the experience more valuable than what
Right.
you're working on. It's like, well, when you get it, you'll get all that. Just let me go get that first. And
Right.
get that. But you know what I mean? So that gives it value.
Exactly. It definitely does. We're going to go to commercial break. And we'll be right back. Radio on Fire broadcast reach over 278,000 viewers per month. Advertise your product, service, or event on Radio on Fire by sponsoring an episode of Real Spit Radio for as low as $50. Visit radioonfire.com/promo to get started. We'll Real Spit Radio, and we'll be right back.
Bad.
Hey, man, what's up with you? I just want to know, can you do one thing for me? Ride with me. Yeah, ride with me. Yeah, Mr. Wilson, Sonny Brown, Mo Gant.
Make all broad fill out a questionnaire. And all these sports if you didn't know for years. Save my shed tears, been a set.
He was
And
See this life we live. Money, cars, and women. Make a bad decisions, being life in prison. Soon as you start shit, then you end up missing. For playing top biller with killers. Some dealers turn squealing like Sammy the Bull. And others just keep getting money till they pay in full. And the ones who get high, who's close to get by. Robbery without a mask for the love of a blast. A man who ain't cash off dwelling in the past. From living like fast, let him get in the stash. When the stock market crash, love turns to hate. How you supposed to pay your bills when weight turns to pills? When the artist goes multi-mil, is it the love for the art? Or was it all about the money from the start? You can't love with no heart. You ain't real, you just playing the part. Fake thugs still scared of the dark.
K-Mac Knoxville.
And it's your girl, Tammy Too Much.
And I'm Frank Lewis with Frozen Harbor and One Coast Entertainment.
And I'm Ryan Pratchett Bay, also known as Only.
Why you gotta give him the Dresser sound? You know how Dresser was on 5 Heartbeats? Listen, baby.
I'm digging that he will not stop the AKA only. I'm loving
It
it.
is what it is. They didn't even know.
Hell yeah, man. Thank y'all for coming through.
No,
though,
like,
man.
listen, it's actually a very cohesive show. It's a good follow up to the last time I was on there with you guys. Mm-hmm. I'm just really glad to be here talking about Frozen Harbor with y'all. Being it's your first one, you know what I mean? So it's good to hype up together,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like cohesive promotion.
Yeah.
Just like we're doing with the youngins in
I'm
that chat
excited to work with y'all, man.
Yeah, that's what's
like,
up.
just like the youngins in that chat room. Tell them about the youngins in the Motor House.
Yeah, we went to a show. We got an invite from an old friend, and there was this record label that's. I mean, the oldest is maybe what 16 or 17.
No, the oldest is 18 now. He's it's like
Yeah.
it's like an after school program
Right.
that doubles as a record label.
Yeah, so they have
Okay.
a whole label just full of people 18 and under, basically, and they put on a whole show for what was it, like 2 hours? I mean,
What?
they feature
And
every.
dude, it was so packed out that I had to stand outside
Yeah.
the door.
They feature every artist on their label, everybody, and there was a couple of them guys that came out, and I was like, I'd look at Frank, and we're on opposite ends. You know how
Right.
the rapper. I'll be on the opposite room. I'm like, that one.
yeah, you know who's
That
who.
one,
Yeah,
yup.
we
Yeah,
split
you
up
know
'cause
who's
that's
who.
how we. That's how we do shows. That we stood next to each other. We didn't talk the whole time.
Right.
So we split up, and like when we see something, we like.
And I like to walk around and bump into people, and I like to get intimate, and especially if it's an artist I can get near.
Right.
I like to make them as uncomfortable.
That's what I do.
about-
Go to the front. I always go to the front of the
You got
stage.
to. You got to.
Just cause I just got to see.
So
you know what I mean?
the one of the guys, Louis, he's on there. Louis
Fuego.
Oh yeah,
Dude, bro.
16 years old.
Bro.
you can go, huh?
He's serious. I mean, it's hard listening to these young guys and be like, yo, when I was 16, I wasn't that good. Well, not
listen-
that I wasn't that good, that I couldn't do all that.
But we're talking.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
We're talking
right,
about this
right.
kid was attempting double time. We're
Yeah.
talking about this kid didn't rap with his vocals behind it.
Nah, he killed
Right.
We're talking about this kid wasn't mumble rapping. Like this
Yeah.
kid was like, me and him were looking at each other like, man, we're the old dudes at the party we
was
used
sick.
to be the young
It was
dudes
sick.
at. So it was real hip hop.
So-
Like,
so-
It's
Right.
funny how
Right.
times change.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
from a production standpoint, what we want to do, and this is for artists involved, but to give some insight to people who have questions about One Coast or why people don't get booked for this and that. I'm just saying, once you get in the circle, you know what I mean? We're intimate.
it's up to you to get out of this.
Yeah, so I
Right.
try. So like we have a chat room for artists that are put together in the Drag On room, and every once in a while I try and drop in. It's like, hey, what's going on? Just so we can all get a collective energy.
Yeah.
Way back when we had those shows that we was all in together, everybody felt like they
Right.
was in it together. So I'm like, yo, this is your show. Like I used to say, if I was opening for Drag On, I'd say Drag On closing for me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But I would say it because people coming to see K-Mac.
Right.
You
right.
know,
Right.
because nobody should look at the ticket or from any show and be like, well, I don't really know if I want to go see Jim Jones. Right, but my man on it. So are you
Right.
going to go see your man or are you going to go
Well,
see...
and here's another thing. It's
Yeah.
like it's not going to be just Jim Jones and your man, where you're paying Jim Jones price to see your man. There's
Right.
going to be other people on the
Right.
card too.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I've caught more gems going to a show and watching an opener I'd never heard of. I'm like, how did this guy get on? My guy didn't get on. And I didn't go to watch him, but I was like, damn, he's actually pretty good.
Right,
You know what I mean? And the crowd's receptive to it. So.
I think people should come to Frozen. I not just for the headliners. I think
For the
people
act
should
that
come
they wanna
for the
see.
experience, the whole
Exactly.
experience.
And listen,
because
listen.
it's a great vibe. I had like I felt good being there.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Real talk. I felt good. We didn't mind. Even Diamond. Real spit was there. Real spit radio. I'm sorry. I was about to say, I don't think Diamond didn't look like his arm was hurting because he was carrying a big ass camera across the street, back and forth
no.
through the
That's what we do.
crowd.
And
That's
all
what we
kind
do.
of footage.
That motherfucking light said, "Wing." Fredro said, "Man, could you cut that shit in?" When God,
No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Fredro
Like,
started.
when you tell that story, you gotta make sure people understand that really happened.
Yeah, it really
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
Like I had the camera on, I had the light, I have his light,
Right.
and Fred was like, he said, yo, can you cut that light off, yo? And you know that moment when you like, dang.
That light had Fredro like
He
this
was
up
like-
there.
And everybody's like this.
Right, Fredro like, hold up. Yo, can you turn it out? Yo, I fell out that motherfucker, man.
So Diamond, that was your first time at Frozen Harbor last year,
Yeah,
right?
it was.
What was your take on the experience that you had?
I liked it. I liked the what's crazy. I'm glad you asked me that because it's like people always say this. People always say Baltimore needs something like that. You know what I mean? And I go out of town and I go places and I see festivals like that. Like I see they got stuff in Atlanta like that. They got stuff in Houston like that. Like, and I'm not trying to name drop nobody else, which is why I just called them stuff. But it's just like to see that a festival where you have multiple acts, multiple people. You see, we don't have a lot of those that are done in the professional way, where you have a lot of artists that are at different stages in their career,
right,
together. Like that's a big thing. And then the weather was good too, especially last year. So
that day was.
Oh no, listen, this is the best part of this. So Frozen Harbor,
Yeah.
first year, 60 degrees both days. We open
Amazing.
up. Listen, we open up and I'm like, they're gonna sue us for false advertising. This harbor ain't gonna be frozen. It's fucking frozen. Second year, 10 degrees Friday.
You said 10?
10 degrees, massive snowstorm that shut. That was the story I was telling earlier. That shut down everything and got it all rewired on Saturday. Third year, 60 degrees both days. Last year, 60 degrees both days.
Right.
So like the odds are in our favor. But
Well,
at the same time, I think there are fans of the festival that remember the snow year and how much fun they had being packed in those little venues.
Right.
It was already here from out of town in the hotels. They were just like, we're gonna walk across the street and we're gonna have a snowball fight. We're gonna get in.
Right.
Like that's what Frozen Harbor is supposed to be. It's like it's a rain or shine event, and we're gonna do it one way or the other. I mean, like we can't just tell George Clinton, "Oh, hey, sorry, it's snowing. We'd rather do this when it's better weather." Like he's coming one way or the other, and if he don't show up, then I save a lot of money. I don't make any money, but I save a lot of money. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's big.
I want to see George Clinton.
Yes.
at Frozen
Yes.
Harbor.
That's big.
I want to
Yes.
see. Listen, I want to see.
He the same day, right?
Facts.
It's Friday, right?
Yeah, listen, and actually, I strategically did that. I set it up so that if you want to see Saigon and Dragon, that you can see Saigon before George Clinton goes on a soundstage. Then we're going to put on the other rappers like D-Tronada and Taco Bang, the younger people, while George is going on because their fans don't compete. Like last year, Drew Hill and Onyx, the one thing I found was we didn't have enough gap for the people to get across the street to come back and see Onyx from Drew Hill. Drew Hill was packed out.
That's true.
And a lot of those people have multi-venue passes. They just couldn't get back fast enough. So they're like, well, I'm going to pop in Tin Roof. I'm going to go pop over here at Lucky's Tavern. I'm going to go pop over here. Or, hey, I'm just going to leave and beat the traffic. You know what I mean? So
That's true, too.
We tried it again this year. If we don't get it right, then we'll get it right next year. Like it's always a learning experience. Every year, year after year, it's a learning experience for us. And it's really important that people understand, like, we're going to get it wrong. Don't just give me a 1-star rating and call me a dick on Facebook. Like, tell me what I did wrong and I'll fix it.
Right.
I mean, I have a mascot for my festival. How many people in Baltimore have a mascot? Like a full panda bear, or excuse me, a full polar bear.
Yes.
Coasty
Oh, yeah.
Coasty be furious if
Right,
he ever.
yeah.
Coasty would have punched me in the face if he was here
Don't
right now.
disrespect Coasty. Like.
The other
Coasty.
thing that's really great about what y'all doing is that, and I go to a lot of different things, so I can tell this. You can tell that y'all are fans of the music,
Yeah.
and
Definitely.
not just let me see how I can flip some money.
No.
like because some shows
They
come
do
off
this
like
for
that.
the culture.
I mean, I'm
Definitely
just flipping
for the
money. I
culture.
don't,
Listen,
whatever.
I
But
want to
y'all
be clear.
are fans.
I want to be clear. Onyx was in our final 5 the year we booked Redman, and then last year Onyx was in our top 5, but our 4 had just fell, and we had this meeting, and I said Onyx, and so I was like, yeah, man, I don't know. And then somebody else was like, you know what? Onyx ain't a bad idea. Well, like I said, Onyx as a room lost money, but as a festival, it did fine. I don't regret that. I was thrilled that we booked Onyx. Like that was throw your guns. Like everyone kept saying, "Oh, Slam's the only song they've ever had." I'm like, no. I was like,
Who the hell said that?
I was in the living room with my nephew. My nephew was like 20 at the time, and he's in the living room playing Xbox. And Throw Your Guns came on my Pandora, and I just started, throw your guns in the air. And he's staring at me, and I'm like, come on, put your hands up. And he's in the living room like, I'm not doing this with you, Uncle Frank. And I'm like, no, man, like this is the joint. This is real. like to see those dudes and to talk to those dudes. Fredro, he's what you think he is, but he's not a bad guy. And Sticky is extremely, extremely relatable. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I mean, Fredro is that star. Yeah, like he's a star.
Okay.
He's strictly business, and he's a star. So he's got a little bit. If you don't know what that looks like, it's an asshole. But I'm an asshole. So I'm
He's the one that told me to turn the light off.
And listen, and you know what the best part is you already have a Frozen Harbor moment. Like everybody has it. Everybody. Has a
Yep,
Frozen Harbor
that's
story.
real.
And you got a good one.
Right.
You got a good one.
It could have
You got
it
a
could have
good-
went bad for me. You could have back when it was 4 of them.
Right.
It might could have went left for me. in the light. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and Drew Hill put on a good show too. Man.
Yeah,
They
the
really
only
did good.
thing is that I don't know if anybody notices it during the Drew Hill show when they was trying to put together the trapeze.
Yes.
Oh, we were right there.
We were right there.
Listen, it
We
was
spoke
something-
on that last week.
It was sprung up on us.
Can you tell us what was supposed to happen?
Okay, so I am an A&R for Nokia, and I hooked him up with a producer named Bagel from Race Car Bed, who I used to manage, and he does EDM mostly. Well, we did a song together called Mindfuck, and it's an R&B song. And Noke was going to do it for the second time in Baltimore. He debuted it at Baltimore Arena during like the Keith Sweat, Genuine show at the arena a couple years ago, the Spring Fest. Yep. And he debuted it there, and the girl came out, and he brought a stripper pole out, and the girl danced, and he air guitar rained money all over during the thing, and it was all whatever. So we're gonna do. So we was really looking to push this thing, and get ready to drop it. And the day of the show comes, and nobody's told me anything, and they're just like, "Hey, so we gotta set up the ring." And I'm like, "What the hell is the ring?" So I saw it, and immediately was like, "I don't have time for this shit." I told my production team, I was like, "Yo, figure this shit out, and make sure y'all know what to do." Like,
Right.
we don't have time. There's no window for this. Well, the guy that figured out how to set the trapeze up properly and safely worked for Ram's Head Live. Just happened to be there to help with load in. Well, he went home. So the guy that knew the final pieces of the puzzle left, and no one told us that. He just assumed because the staff all learned it together, they would all know it together. Well, my nephew was 20 and he was a stage manager at the time. He didn't know shit about that. I didn't know shit about that. That's why I didn't want nothing to do with it. I wasn't going to be the one. And I remember not everybody was mad about it. Like, the fans were cool. They were very happy with the show. But I remember walking in that green room. And like I said, I'm friends with those guys. I actually worked for Drew Hill. So, like, it was a weird experience to have them in there joking. And like, we're going to call it The Ring. Like the horror movie, like that. And I'm like, and like they're laughing. They're like, you know, Frank, and they're like, these fucking promoters, and I'm like, and it wasn't in a bad way, but they didn't realize the jokes they were making. They're like, man, and these fucking promoters,
You right there.
like Cisco's looking at me like, Frank, these fucking promoters fucked the ring up, and I'm like, yeah, those pieces of shit. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, man. I'm like, yeah. And then the next day I tell Noke, I'm like, hey, man, I gotta tell you what really happened, yo, because it wasn't on the promoters. Right. It was on the production of the venue for a guy who wasn't even working. No one told us he wasn't working. I just knew him, saw him there, thinking, why would you be in there not working?
Right.
It was just assisting with the loading process because they had their full band, so we loaded in like what 10 a.m.
Yep.
And it was wild as shit.
Wow.
It wasn't even open until 4.
Yep.
So, but no, I mean it was a good laugh, and again, that's a Frozen Harbor memory that I can look back on and laugh. But the part of the memory is that I'm in the green room with Drew Hill, and they know me because I've been backstage with them a million times at shows, and they're just like, yeah, man, the fucking promoters, and I'm like, all right, well, I'll see what I can do about those fucking promoters. And when I went to Rob, it was like, hey man, I was like, so Drew Hill blaming the promoters for the ring. He's like, what the fuck? We didn't know nothing about that fucking ring. I was like, I know, man, that's cool. I was like, I cleared it up. I was like, but they was joking with me. I was like, it was so surreal, man. I was like, that was my heroes, and they was just clowning the shit out of me, and they didn't know it was me.
Damn, shout out to Noke, man.
Yeah, Noke's the man, dude.
So again, let everybody know what to expect this year.
Okay, so this year.
At Frozen Harbor 2018.
So we have Jimmy's Chicken Shack 25th anniversary. Last year we had Drew Hill's 20th anniversary. Jimmy's Chicken Shack were prominent in, like, what would you say? What was the one song? I could never remember the name, and I feel bad I didn't prep for that because I didn't expect that we would talk about that necessarily. But Jimmy's Chicken Shack 25th anniversary show, that's going to be a big deal. We have Keller Williams, which is All Good. If you guys know what All Good Festival is, they also had Maryland at Merriweather. All Good is one of the biggest promoters in the region. Like, I'm talking dwarf what me and Rob have ever accomplished. They're co-promoting with us. We brought Steve's Promo. As you guys know, I worked for them for like 10 years. We brought them in. They're going to do Chris Lake at Mosaic on Saturday. I was right, Jimmy's going to be at Ram's Head on Saturday. Chris Lake's going to be at Mosaic on Saturday. We have Sam Grow in country on Friday, along with a lot of other good up-and-coming country musicians from around the area. Believe it or not, a lot of people don't realize that, like, Baltimore has a lot of country musicians that really play
I know.
original music. Like,
I know.
You don't see a bunch of cowboys
And
walking
rock.
around and shit, but, like,
And rock.
I've been to their, like, things, and it's just what you see. It looked like fucking, Roadhouse.
Know where they at?
And I was out Dundalk.
I know
and I'm
where they
like,
hang at. I know where they be at.
Right.
At them studios. Still 14 and all.
No, dude, listen. No, Pop's
Going
Tavern
through there,
in Dundalk.
They
I'm
all
telling you.
that too. There too.
Go catch
they
you a country
all
guys.
do all that. So
Getting money.
everywhere we go to rehearse, they there.
We
You know
also,
what I'm saying?
so
Yep.
we also have okay. So let me tell you the thing about Only. So we're being very, very sneaky, and Power Plant can't hear this part of the interview. So
You be quiet.
I'm gonna whisper. No, I'm just joking. No, Only is actually going to be a part of a very progressive, eclectic situation where we're incorporating hip hop bands as a whole separate room away from the hip hop show. And we ran short of a couple bands, and Rob was like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, you want to do some standalone rappers? And he's like, who? And I was like, the only two of our clients that aren't on this show is Xavier James and Only. And he's like, well, I know Xavier James will do it. I was like, I know I asked him to sit on Frozen Harbor this year. See, that's another thing. I actually asked clients to sit out. Like Billy Live is not doing Frozen Harbor this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a client anymore, but I said, I need you to sit a year off. I want other people to have some blood. That's why Jay Money's on. I gave him a choice. I was like, it's between your Sun Sky or Jay Money. You tell me which one. And then they talked it out and they figured it out. But anyway, so it's going to be this reunion with Written Prisms. And they are a band that one of the members is part of the Girl Lincolns, who was on Drew Hill last year and Redman the year before. And Ryan is going to break the rules with me and be a standalone rapper in Power Plant. That's why he volunteered, because it's going to be game changing. And, if we get caught now and they cut him, we got to live with that because we're talking about. But the game is about breaking the rules, pushing the boundaries. Not all rap is going to bring the wrong crowd. Ryan's rap is capable of doing this drag-on show. Ryan is capable of doing a Migos show. You know what I'm saying? And he's also capable of doing this Written Prism show with class and taste.
Hell, man.
You're using foul
Hell,
language,
man.
Ryan.
Hey, man, I understand that because he don't have no choice. We Villain C, so we cut from a different fabric, bro. I'm sorry, and not saying, anybody else, because I got love for everybody. But I just think us being from the bridge to the ridge is just something different about what we do. If I'm talking about as far as Bless,
I feel like he just dropped two E references. I have no idea.
Yeah,
I have no idea what they mean. You were like, brother.
Come on.
Like, what
you
do
know
you
what I'm
mean,
saying? Smalls, even the 4100 band, everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody just got they got their own sound because we all come from basically Banger Bill. So it's like,
I'll take that.
We got that Banger Bill sound, but Banger Bill crafted our styles, a sound with all of us. Everybody got their own individual sound. So, yeah.
Well,
we all from the same thing.
I think in the vein of what you're saying, like to me, you are, and it's not low key that you're a pioneer. You know what I mean? I mean, for the way that you were distributing music at a certain time, the way I could come across a K-Mac tape.
Right.
Or you know what I mean? Like that's hip hop. That's for real. There's people that'll never see a tape in their lifetime.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? And for me to experience that, and it's not, rap is a mental exercise.
Right.
And because it's a mental exercise, for some reason we get put in this category as we progress in our art that they start to relate it to something else. But you always been putting it down, and that's kind of what what Frank's saying is being progressive. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like when we was doing Sonar and all that, there was a lot of guys couldn't get them
because
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
like there was a line
Right.
down the middle of the street,
Yeah.
and it was Guilford, and it was either you performed at the 5 or you performed at
Right,
the Sonar.
and I'm saying-
and we tore that wall down.
and we have always pushed that little boundary just a little bit extra. So I got to give proper honor
Thank
to
you,
you.
man.
No, right, and absolutely. Every time your name comes up, it's always with someone else respecting you as a legend. I could be talking to you like, man, K-Mac's the man. And I'm like, of course he's the man. Like, why are you telling me like I don't fucking know? Like, I mean, why don't you call him up and tell him? Because I'm
Thank
sure
you,
he would
man.
appreciate that shit.
Yeah, but I'm
Thank
happy
you.
to be a part of what Frank is mentioning. Again, there are people just love music, and that's
Right.
one of the things about Frozen Harbor where I find exactly, and that's what I'm saying. The biggest challenge is that people keep saying they love music.
Right.
They keep saying they love hip hop.
Yeah.
But when the hip hop comes and when the multi-genre music festival that doesn't happen this way anywhere else in our region and it's homegrown and people are scouting talent and picking guys and paying people that they don't gotta pay, the people that say they love music ain't showing up.
Right.
So this is the challenge. Like we should always be issuing that.
And
challenge.
don't
It
show
ain't the
up for
rappers,
just
it's
the hip hop
fans.
show. See, that's when you said
Walk around-
music.
listen,
It's
Scar.
not just for the hip hop show.
Scar
It's
is
for
coming
all
this
that.
year. Look, Scar has never been. So last year when I booked him and he finally figured out what I was talking about, he only knew he was in the hip hop room, so to him it was just a show. When I explained the dynamics of it, he's like, man, it's like a Woodstock and like a winter Woodstock for Baltimore. And I'm like, okay, cool, kind of. So this year when I didn't put him on, I inboxed him. I'm like, hey, man, I was like, I just want you to know I really appreciate what the job you did last year. I was like, I want you to come this year and just enjoy yourself. You know what I mean? Take a year off and soak it in as a producer. Like, if you're like walking around and you hear somebody, there's 6 different horns in one band. If you hear someone, like, man, I really like the way they're doing that. Go over and ask them. He's on 160 acts. There's like 20 headliners that aren't approachable per se. And then there's 140 other normal humans just like you, the rapper, that is afraid to go out and find an instrument or learn an instrument your own. Here's a guy that doesn't mind coming in the studio and dropping it for you.
And they on that. Like, I mean, there are people you meet. I want you to continue. There are people that you meet that one time, and just because they respected what you do, they're like, if you're ever in Boston, my couch is, and you playing in Boston, you know how they say in bands, you playing up here,
right?
You can come stay.
We dabbed Ryan out in Buffalo.
Yeah, I did. Yo, it was rough.
Hey, listen.
Yo, I thought my soul was trying to leave my body. Never felt like my bad. I laid down. This is my first dab ever.
Listen,
I
laid down. Listen, when I say I laid down with him, I'm on a different couch. I laid down with him and just talked to him. I was like, "Hey, buddy, you doing all right?" He was just like, "I feel like if I actually go to sleep, my soul's gonna leave my body." And I was like, "Nah, man." I was like, "Nah, man." Close your eyes. I was like, "Just enjoy that ride. It's cool, man." I was like,
but those
I was like, "When you wake up, it'll be over."
Yo, those people in Buffalo treat us like family. Like, you know what I mean?
And like, listen to this. So, as much as he loves rapping, we get back to the place in Buffalo after a show. Now, mind you, Ryan was the only person on the show that had no DJ, that had no band, that had no gimmicks,
Buffalo.
and one dude had lasers and shit in the set.
Right.
And Ryan gets up there and he goes, "Oh, so I'm just the guy here with a microphone and all those other fantastic things. That's done now."
Right.
And the whole crap. He rapped for the biggest crowd of the night.
What?
And the reason is because people respect it. So we get back to the house. And the dude was like, "Yo, I didn't know you could rap, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "We told you he was coming here to rap." And all.
Right.
So after he dabs, he starts rapping. And I'm talking to a point that I kept trying to, like, stop. Like, "Come on, keep going." And I'm like, no. Like, let him relax.
He's going to hurt himself.
He got done. He sat down on the couch next to me and leaned over and was like, "I don't know what just happened."
I said, "I'm hurt."
Man. I said, "Yo," I was like, "You just left it all." He was soaked in sweat more from rapping in the living room than he was when he just did on the damn stage. And it wasn't that he doesn't give his all on the stage. He went in this zone that he had never been in, and that's when I had to put him on the couch, and his soul was going to leave.
But when people come, but when people come to Buffalo, those musicians, those fans, they interact with me, and they rub up against. So like Frank's saying, you know, these people are approachable. They're looking for MCs. They're looking for lyricists and songwriters. You know,
they're just looking for good music.
That's right. That's it.
They want.
That's all I want.
Listen, Buffalo is a core of fans.
That's
they're not
I'm
afraid
at.
to be called the F word. Call someone in Baltimore a fan.
Right.
See how quickly they fucking stop listening to your shit.
Right.
I actually
Exactly.
had a girl once tell me. I was like, "You know what? You are probably the biggest and best fan we've ever had." She said, "Fuck you." And I was like, "Okay." I was like, "What would you like to be called?" She's like, "I just want you guys to know I'm like family." I'm like, "Well, that's cool too," but I'm saying, like, in the real thing, I'm a promoter and a production manager, and he's a rapper and a production manager. I was like, "And you bought a fucking ticket. You're a fucking fan." and we appreciate your support. And you know what? Now I don't let her pay to get in anymore. She don't mind being called a fan. And it wasn't about the money. She just thought that fan was something we would, like, fangirl or fanboy. Oh, you just a fan. No, we need
You should have
fans.
said supporter.
But the thing
That's
is,
what I call them, supporters.
Why is fan an ugly word?
Because
Things are
We
not
love
the
our
same.
Because we in Baltimore, man.
Don't tell the fucking Beatles and 100,000 people in fucking the UK. We love our 100,000 fans, you know what I mean? And they're excited, and people are like, "Yeah, I'm a fucking fan." Like, you call somebody a fan and they local, it's like, "Oh, what, you disrespecting me?"
Right.
Supporter is a great word, but fan is all right too. It's
It's not bad.
It's
not
not
bad.
bad. It's actually.
I think
it's
it's
a term of
considered.
endearment.
I think it's considered like an old word.
I know, but I'm just
You know
saying.
what I mean?
But
Like,
why?
people
because, you know
don't wanna
why?
grasp
because
it
fucking millennials made
anymore.
it like this.
I know. Yeah,
But no, it's
fan-
not. It's not. I know.
That's what they take it as.
No, I agree, but it's
Yeah.
not.
Deeper than a group.
I know, but listen.
Man,
I am a Jay-Z fan. If he walked up and was like, "Oh, you just a groupie," I would pop him in the fucking mouth. But if he walked up and he was like, "Hey man, like you look like a diehard fan," I'd be like, "I would do anything you said right now to take a photo with you. If I gotta go roll a homeless dude in the street, I will do it. I'm a diehard fan. I would call myself a fucking fan." Right. But if he just walked up and was like, "What are you, a fan or something?" And I'm like, "Of course I'm a fan." And he's like, "Well, you a bitch," and I'm like, "Well, oop, there it is." You know?
I'm a fan of a lot of local artists.
But you know what?
You know what I'm saying?
I think
I'm a fan of K-Mac. I'm a fan of
Thank you.
Only. Like, you know what I'm
the
saying?
people
Like,
that don't
fan
mind
of
being
them.
I'm a
called
fan of K-Mac.
fans by Jay-Z or somebody else, they don't want to be called a fan with
but you know
someone
what? That was
local,
going on in the thread.
even if they are.
That was going on in the thread. Somebody said, "Hey, that's a lot of money, you know, for your show." Well, if they're really your Pinpoint's at it back. He's like, "Well, if they're really your supporter, they're going to pay that money. It's one time.
Right.
Like if they're really your supporter." So my thing is like, okay, now you support it. Now you can tell me not to call you a fan. Okay. What I'm saying is like, why is fan such an ugly word? It's not fuckboy. It's fan. It's not,
Right.
it's not even fanboy.
Fanboy.
He's like a fanboy. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, exactly. You had times I've called somebody
crazy.
a fanboy because they were a fanboy, but I'm just saying, like, but to sit there and say someone's a fan and then be hurt by it, like that. I didn't give her guest list because I felt bad. I gave her guest list because she actually was probably our. If you had a list of fans, she was at the top of it for any One Coast show. This wasn't just our bands. Any One Coast show. When Pasadena broke up as a band, when Bump and Uglies went to another agency, she came out and Never Ending Fall, and she's like, "I want to book Never Ending Fall for one of my college campus shows. I'm going to come to their shows. I really like them. I'm glad you put me on." She is a fan, and it's our job as promoters to put the fans in the seats and put the bands in front of the fans. And it's totally okay to say fucking fan. And I'm going to start being like, "Hey, attention all K-Mac fans. Yeah, you bitch. Did you think this is getting insulted right now?" That was for you. Right. And you bitch, you insulted right now? How many fucking K-Mac tapes do you have? You don't have enough K-Mac tapes? Well, you're not a fan. You're a faggot. Fuck you. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I ain't got
HR,
real spinning on them dudes.
See?
HR only actually are here.
Hey, but hold up. I got a question for Only, though.
Yo.
Like, being as though we've been at the
Need
music
some
thing.
QC over here. Quality control.
I was just saying a fan is okay to say.
But listen, hold up. As artists, right?
Right.
Damn it.
Like you said people. It's people out here that just want to hear good music, right? That's being as though we've been in this for a while. That's where I'm at now as an artist.
Okay.
I just want to make good music. I don't care about being. I've never been a competitive dude. Like,
Okay.
NX Click. If you listen to our stuff, we never been competitive.
Yeah.
We was just MCs. You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
exactly.
So now I'm in a space where I just want to make good music. I don't care to be in the hottest rapper. I hate when I see those posts. Who's the top rapper in the month?
Yeah.
I hate that shit, you know, because I'm from that era where you had to be original and that you had to be different, and everybody, even your look, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your look,
Yeah,
everything
you gotta
was
be
just
yourself.
different, and I try to bring that opposite to it
Okay,
instead of doing
right.
what everybody else do. But you get misunderstood a lot of times
Easy.
when you know what I'm saying, when you do things that's know not the norm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Well,
saying? Nowadays anyway.
Right. Well, those are called lagging indicators. Are people who are kind of stuck in a period where you
Excuse
where
us.
you. Well, I'm just saying. I learned.
I'm over here being a barbarian. You go there. Where's your fez at? Where's your fez when you say shit like that on the radio?
I've been fortunate to have mentors, multiple mentors and counselors, and people have been in my space that have shown me perspective and seeing that everybody's not gonna get it. You know, I had an opportunity when I was running around. I had an agent and all this other stuff, and my last album was done, right, and it had a certain vibe, certain energy to it. It was real conscious, so they say it's just a good hip hop album, and it was ready to go, and Kendrick dropped. And after Kendrick thing dropped, it was like, now it's time. And I was like, it was already time. Like, why couldn't I have been first? Right. That's here nor there. But I'm like you. It's like acknowledging that I'm a musician.
Yeah.
That my voice is an instrument and it goes with other instruments. But even though, because I never thought I was a great rapper. Maybe not to the last 3 or 4 years.
That wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
I just.
Oh, it's my thing now.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, that's cool, but
yeah, right.
And it's to each his own to everybody. But with me, I just never, and I think because we never thought the Annex clique would take off the way it did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we didn't think people was going to catch on and like it like that. You know what I mean? So, but making that, we was in a comfortable space just being us.
Right.
Being artists, not being, okay, we gonna outshine these motherfuckers. Or we gonna rap, nigga, I'm better than you.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think I ever had that
carried-
mentality back when I was rapping. We just
Right,
didn't.
I never was that
My
type
bad.
of dude.
I don't think that. I think the ability to make music, you can make music in so many different ways
Right.
now. That little screen that people are putting up, that fake misdirection about it's got to be a certain way, doesn't really exist.
Right.
I don't think that's real because there are people. MF Doom got cassette tapes going for $40 and $50
Word.
currently.
What?
Before
That's
Sean
what's up.
Price passed, he had cassettes going for $35, new cassettes.
Right.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? So somebody could say the game's gotta be one way, and we could
it
prove
don't.
it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, 'cause
that's
the
you
more
know.
you
How's that
travel-
working out for you?
Well,
I wasn't being cunty. I was saying like to you, like, you know, me and you've had that argument
Well,
many
yeah,
times.
well-
Only's like, why can't we do this? I'm like, because it doesn't work no more. Welcome to the new, welcome to the 21st century. He's like, nah, man, I see it. I'm like, I don't care what you see. I'm asking you and
Right.
your brand, can you facilitate? Like, we're talking about MF Doom. Like, all
Yeah,
due respect,
absolutely,
all due
absolutely.
respect, don't you ever put your name
Yeah.
and a cassette tape in the same sentence as MF Doom.
Right.
In 2017, in
Right.
2018, you know what I mean? That's all I mean by it. It's no diss. It's
Yeah.
like, before you go jumping and be like, I'm going to bring back the vinyl record.
right.
Okay, well, what is your gimmick then? Because our brand isn't sustaining the CD.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not
absolutely.
saying that in a bad way. I'm saying we should be thinking digital.
Right.
Because we're not sustaining the CD. Why should we go backwards and make it harder for fans?
Why are we selling the CD? Why are we not selling the digital record and the CD vinyl? Like you know what I mean? I'm saying.
No, I
I'm
agree.
saying
No,
it's-
I'm
it's
agreeing.
like- I'm more like, do people really? Maybe people aren't as attached to the idea of things, the sentimental part of it.
So you're
Remember-
saying sell the tape as a collector's item and then have it be digitally streaming?
I mean, people still buy Jay-Z CDs, even though they're gonna listen to it digitally.
Right.
Even though
I'm
Nah,
shaking
you-
my head, yes, but
Reasonable
I don't buy Jay-Z CDs anymore.
You know what I mean?
Listen, I understand.
Just to have it.
But there
Open
are
it and
those
look at it.
few people in the world that aren't into the modern day technology and they want CDs.
Right. Yeah, that's
You know what I
but
mean?
It
They
does.
want-
That's what I mean by
Right.
that's what I mean by the record and the
Yeah.
tape. There should be short runs and things
Right.
available. But what I'm saying is Baltimore's always had this stigma about being 5 and 10 years behind. If I tell you right now to put your thing on a flash drive with your logo on it, you're gonna be like, "Oh, everybody's doing that." Yeah, I've been telling you that for
Said that
5 years
ago.
and I told
Yeah.
you that when I told you 5 years,
Yeah.
I was already 3 years behind because I was
Right.
already doing it in LA.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I have literally given a promoter above my station a CD, and he said, "What do you want me to do with this?" And I was like, "I just wanted to give it to you. It's a sampler this year, you know what I mean, to listen to." He's like, "Yeah, so who the hell listens to CDs anymore?" And the thing is you got to be able to accommodate both.
Exactly, I
And
agree.
let's be honest, in the mainstream millennial market that the world is, it has to be digital. It has to be. I mean, he refused to put an album digital, and me and him had this huge fight about it. And I'm like, it's not anything about the money you lost. It's about, I don't even know what's going on. Listen, so I'll take this time to say, I didn't mean to say the F word like that. I got caught up in the emotion. No, it's okay. Listen, no, but
It's
I want
been
to,
shot,
but I'm
my
going
friend.
to say it, and I'm going to clear it up right now on the radio because I know it'll get taken out of context, and that's okay. I have no problem with gay people at all, 100%. I'm not even laughing. I'm not being silly. I'm saying the truth is that you actually warned us about this exact moment. This is a teachable moment.
Yeah.
We're going to teach right now.
Absolutely.
Ryan said, you and Rob constantly are backstage joking around like you're teenagers. He's like, and you're one F word away, and he said it, telling me and Rob to explain it. He's like, you're one F word away from breaking our whole shit up and us losing a deal. He's like, Jimmy Iovine and you could be talking backstage at Rams Head. Rob walks up, punches you in the chest, calls you the F word, and then Jimmy Iovine's like, this is the two dudes that's running this company. Like, that's how they talk. They're not cultured enough to not do that. So I want to apologize, first of all, and I want to say that people shouldn't say that just blatantly, but unfortunately, I'm a 90s kid. I come up
Passion.
with Eminem. No, and that word getting flung around amongst friends joking
Right.
had nothing to do with disliking gays. And I want
Right.
to make sure that it's clear that I have no problem with anybody like that. And this is a coachable moment.
Right.
This is that moment. And that's why I was seriously saying he is our HR. Once he told me and Rob that, we have dialed back on all of our inappropriate slang tenfold.
Yeah,
easy.
yeah. That's
Me and you get in the car willy nilly every now and then. I'll stop myself in the middle of saying something totally inappropriate. I'm like, wait, man, you ain't my HR father. We hanging out now.
right.
But it's just good practice. So
That's
I
real.
wanted to clear that up, and I'm sure that it'll get taken out of contest, and I'll get hate mail, and that's okay, and that's fine. And then hey, guess what? And then I'll go walk in the gay parade with everybody and tell them it's all good.
Right. Yeah. That's the
You know.
Well, we want everybody to come to Frozen Harbor. Make sure.
No, listen. Hey, I want
all of you come.
Have you guys? Hey, have you ever been to? I don't know the whole initials. I don't want to butcher it. They added initials to it. The gay and lesbian community.
Right.
Like their parties are off the fucking hook.
Yeah.
I would rather have a room dedicated to that, but it doesn't make sense to our genre. Again, keeping the culture of the festival.
Yeah.
Their parties are nuts.
Right.
I want all the gay people in Baltimore to come to Frozen Harbor because they're going to turn up and enjoy themselves.
Exactly.
And that's the energy.
Right.
I mean, that's not to say that straight people don't enjoy themselves, but straight people gotta stick up their ass sometimes. They gotta calm the fuck down and enjoy themselves. I'm not gonna dance and enjoy myself.
Right. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm one of those straight people. I'm like, I can't dance. I grew up learning how to rap. I can't dribble a fucking basketball, but I can coach a team. You know what I mean? Like, fuck. Yeah. I'm like, no, triangle.
All right, before we go to another break, let everybody know how to get tickets.
FrozenHarbor.com. All of our
back
backslashes are Frozen Harbor. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. What else we use it? At Frozen Harbor. It's FrozenHarbor.com. Every backslash, so it's Facebook.com/Frozen Harbor. Instagram is @Frozen Harbor. Twitter is @Frozen Harbor. My number is 443-306-9555. I'm not going to put Ryan or Rob out there like that, but we are available literally from now until Frozen Harbor for any question, comment. I've been answering emails. I have been in the house majorly sad right now just because of how much work I'm dealing with. And I'm like, Rob, I got to take a break. He's like, take a break. And an email comes through like, but what if I just want to see this thing and maybe this thing on the next day? And I'm like, here's what you do. Right. Let me help you. Yeah. Customer service friendly, And it's like, most people don't do it, but like, it's because I literally waited my whole life to do something they told me I couldn't do. And I didn't just do it once. I didn't just do it twice. I've done it 5 times now. And I will make sure that I will be the dude. Listen, the guy that owns Lyft, every New Year's Eve, drives Lyft for free. Like, he just goes out as the CEO of Lyft and drives Lyft because that's how he started. That was the foundation and principle of his company. Like, helping drunk people get home on New Year's Eve for cheaper than a cab would do you on New Year's Eve.
Right.
Like, this is my Lyft. This is my company. You know what I mean? And Ryan feels that way too. We just keep Ryan away from all the craziness. You know what I mean? He's got he is advancing 160 acts.
Wow.
This is hard. I mean, y'all.
I need you to edit something out on the playback, bud. I need you to edit something out on the playback.
I just want to
I did something inappropriate.
Thank you, bro.
Thank y'all again. I got to get this
There's
off.
no playback.
Go get your
So what they?
No.
Right? Can we do like a ee-haw when I say that idiot thing? Like, can we go back? Like, I'll pay extra for that kind of a thing, and we can keep my public service announcement in there, and they can guess what F word I said. Right. I was going off. I was feeling myself, and my friend K-Mac, and I said something I shouldn't have said.
He put me
I only give up PSA public service. I said the F word you're not supposed to say about gay people, joking around. I wasn't talking about gay people. I was talking about a just generic guy. Like, think about Eminem and how he
generic guy.
No, a generic fan.
You digging.
I'm not digging. No. I'm saying, I told you, the reason why I made the mistake is because I come up as a 90s kid where that word between two homeboys was thrown around as a joke. Like, I mean, it's cool that they're teasing. They should be teasing me because I put my foot in my mouth.
That is true. Back in the day, that was just an insult.
As your homeboy, like, you didn't mean nothing by the connotation. And now people are sensitive.
Man, just like you can call your homeboy, you can say, "Yo, stop being a bitch and come on."
Not him. He hates to be one. He likes to sling it around.
He needs to hurry up.
He likes to sling
He like to sling it around. He hit y'all with like 2-3 of them just a minute ago. Bitch. Right.
No, he was being passionate though. He wasn't just.
Hey, passionate to word.
I need to be felt sometimes. I need to be felt, not just heard.
Damn, man. But before we got into that, I just want to thank y'all again. I'm gonna say thank you.
You should. That's what I'm doing.
I I just want to thank y'all again, man. Like, thank y'all for
We
the
thank y'all for
opportunity,
having.
man.
We thank y'all for having us, and we're really happy.
I only
to have y'all
touched
on
that
Frozen Harbor.
stage one time, and I had a. It was crazy. I loved it, and I can't wait to get back on.
Cool, man. We're really glad to have you guys on board. It's
That's
a big
what's
deal
up.
to us.
That's what.
Only plug your social media.
FrozenHarbor.com.
Woo!
That's it. That he don't want no bother out
Hey,
nobody.
What about only the artist?
Because today he's
Only the artist.
And
I
it's
want
available
him
on
to.
February the 17th at Tim Roof. Power Plant Live, FrozenHarbor.com.
digging
If you need
it. Set
get
times to be
tickets.
announced this
If you
week.
want to hear me talk about life, I'm only the more on Instagram, ONLYTHEMOOR. You know what I mean? I coach lacrosse on Sundays. You know, I'm building.
Don't say coach
I'm building.
lacrosse.
This real. You want to hear music? We figured it out. Hit me on the gram, but FrozenHarbor.com.
That's what
digging
it
it,
is.
digging it.
That's what it is.
He said that's
And
all
be-
I
and-
want to
and
talk
before
about.
Before we do this, right? Let the artists out there know, because a lot of people ask me whether still slots open or
September 1st, every year we open submissions, and you can get through Reverb Nation or direct through One Coast. If you have a premium Reverb Nation, it's free because it's included in their package. And if you want to do it through us, it's $10. Once you submit, someone listens to your music, like however you submit to us, or whether you do it through Reverb Nation. We have a team of interns. They scour through the music. If it's really standout and special, they'll bring it to us. But me and Rob also go in. Only and Tim also have access, or Ryan and Tim rather have access to the Reverb Nation and things like that. And they go through and just listen to stuff every now and then, just like because like sometimes we're just missing one country act, and
Right.
somebody will be like, wait a minute, man, I heard this act. Hold on a second, let me look it back up. Or hey man, I'm falling short of a rap band. That's why we ended up with the standalone rappers, because I was like, we've been through every rap band we can think of, or hip hop band rather that we can think of, and it was like, who's gonna want to go first, because we already got our lineup done except for this one band. I'm like, why don't we make the band that was already going second go first and throw some standalone dudes that are going to be dope and add to the show? So September 1st we do that, and we pull them in mid-December. And the reason we do that is because we have to finish booking the show. You were clearly one of the first ones booked back in, I believe November is when you made the flyer. But I had already had plans of booking you back from when we talked before, and then you applied. You applied, let people know you didn't. You applied. You did your job.
Right.
You didn't. Oh, I'm not paying $10.
I did my job.
But you didn't call me all. You didn't call me all wild like, Frank, why do I have to apply? You told me I could be on. I'm like, yeah, everybody applies, and the reason why is because what if this year y'all just didn't fit? You mean somebody else had to go listen to that music? I pay people to listen to that music. When I say interns, it's a terrible word to use, because interns are mostly identified as somebody who's working for free to build up, the internship, you know what I mean? And it's like, I actually have people that I take care of. I mean, I pay more people at Frozen Harbor than I've ever paid in a single year doing shows. You know what I'm saying? Like, I employ a lot of people, and the thing that people need to understand is the economic impact of Baltimore from Frozen Harbor Music Festival is well over $1 million, and we don't get any grant money from the city.
This is
and
important.
these are low numbers.
This is
These
for
are
real.
these are low
Like,
numbers.
it's not
Like
for
when I say
play.
economic impact,
Right.
I mean the people from Buffalo drove here, and they got to fill up on gas before they leave. But when they're here, they also got to eat. So it doesn't matter if they're eating at Rams Head Live 4 meals a day. They have to eat somewhere. So if they go in their hotel room, that hotel is making money. You know what I mean? If they run a speed camera, city just made some money. Boom. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
everybody wins. And the thing is that people just need to understand, this was never about me. If it was about me, I would have been a full hip hop festival, and I would have done everything I could to make it that way. This was about an idea of somebody bringing something bigger than us, and now Frozen Harbor is bigger than me and Rob.
And it get better and better every year.
And we have to
What's up?
remember that each year when we book it diligently, to be like, I really want to do this, but it's not Cardi B. It's not what's best for Frozen Harbor. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
There you have it.
FrozenHarbor.com.
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 February 16th and 17th.
.com.
All right, the brand new Radio on Fire live app is available now for all Android devices. Watch us live in the studio right on your cell phone. Download the brand new Radio on Fire live app in Google Play Store today. The iOS Apple version is coming soon. We are Real Spit Radio on RadioOnFire.com. We'll be right back.
Right back.
Want to get our pictures in now?
out there. Alright? Typically, where I'm from, we do things individually. You know what I mean? But we're gonna try something different today. Alright, you with me? Alright, now clap together, 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 together. I said now clap together, 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 together. You don't know who I am, do you? Let me explain. Oh, they call me blessed. Yes, and I'm looking for elevation. And yeah, my ghetto's like yours, poor, depressed, infested with devastation. Pure degradation, your source of enjoyable entertainment. Making sure they looking forward to a registration, a penitentiary placement, full reputation. You wanna king 'em? Give 'em a little cocaine and a block full of basics. You wanna love 'em? Give 'em a target for initiation. A clock and some gang friends. You wanna infiltrate his mind, steal his music, then turn him to the devastation. And if you really wanna kill him, well, fuck it, just limit his education. Maybe I'm talking crazy, maybe I'm talking racist, maybe I got a brain glitch, or maybe I got a game plan that I had was raining by the end of game 6. It's kinda hard trying to fix the problem. I called upon the Lord, but he didn't holler. But in my mind, I'm a god, so whenever my number is called, I'ma win it all like I make a dollar. Like flows, like toilet bowls. So you either is or you ain't shit. And since the streets is Goliath, shorty, you either dead or you David. But let's face it, the truth is we all gon' end up where Freddie Gray went. But what I know about the truth is, let me put it in a statement, that together we can turn bad into better. Together we ain't got a track for the cheddar. I said together we can make it mad as ever now. Laugh together, smile together, cause we can make it last forever now. Clap, 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 together, 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 together. Say clap, clap, together, together, together. I said now clap, 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 together, together, together. Shutting now clap, 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 together, 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 together. I could've went the other way, did exactly the opposite what my mama say. Break a mug and threaten suckers to run away. Kill off all of these rap stuff from up under me. These trouble days make you never put your gun away. I wanna say I would, but I can't, so I won't. On a sunny day, they microwaving niggas in the Rubbermaid, popping them like multivitamins, eating one a day. Peace, mama ain't no peace, I'm a real peace. Gotta eat, yeah, they gotta eat. It's the Middle East, but at least show me that the beef ain't about a freak or a cheap or a pair of sneak. Look at you and me, all it's me and you, all it's you and me. All we need is some unity. I believe it's true. If the truth gonna set us free, I'ma fly the plane. If the cage got a young in mind, I'ma break the chains up forever. Brain. But knowing you, type of nigga you are, you gon' say whatever. Pull out your you, look at me hard and show me a couple stacks like you better. I'm just gonna look at you like this. Fuck that shit, nigga. Ha! Together, we can turn bad into better. Together, we ain't got a trap for the cheddar. I said together, we can make it mad as ever now. Laugh together, smile together, cause we can make it last forever now. Clap, 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 together, 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 together. I say now clap, 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 together, 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 together. Come on, I said clap, 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 together, 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 together now clap.
Yo, we back, man. Real Spit Radio. I'm your host, K-Mac Knoxville.
And it's your girl, Tammy Too Much. And I just had a wonderful time. I would like to thank again Frank Lewis and Ryan Pritchard Bay for coming through.
And Only was here too.
Only was here too, okay?
Right.
He two different people at that moment. Thank you guys for coming out, explaining Frozen Harbor to the world and everybody that's watching. Again, thank you so much for...
It's her birthday. It's her birthday. Do your thing.
Thank you so much for coming and sharing that with us.
Right.
You know, and again for having K-Mac Knoxville on the stage.
Yes, man. And if y'all don't, you know, if y'all need tickets, hit me up or go. What they got? Where they sell tickets at again? FrozenHarbor.com.
FrozenHarbor.com.
Yeah, get the tickets.
Or you can just hit us up at our new IG.
Yes,
Real Spit
Radio.
Radio.
On IG.
Follow us on IG.
Man.
Real Spit Radio.
Follow
on
us.
IG. Follow us on IG. Real Spit Radio.
IG. Yeah, right? Shit.
Oh my goodness. Speaking of it. Speaking of drag on, I shouldn't even say speaking of drag on. Speaking of Rough Riders.
All right.
That thug on DMX got arrested again.
She didn't fix his life.
Again, DMX arrested for probation violation after failing a drug test. Now, you know, we were hoping DMX was getting himself together, but apparently not. Rapper DMX is headed back to jail after failing drug tests, a violation of conditions of his probation, which he received after pleading guilty in December 2017 to one count of tax fraud. So he's in trouble for tax fraud. According to TMZ, DMX, whose real name is Earl Simmons, was taken into custody in a Manhattan court Tuesday, today that is, after he allegedly tested positive for opioids, cocaine, and oxycodone. He was, You don't have nothing to say? Okay. The New York Daily, right? He ain't saying nothing. New York Daily News reported that the judge, Jed Rakoff, ruled that Simmons was a flight risk and that he had tried to accommodate DMX's tour schedule, but that Simmons still failed a drug test, left a treatment program, and failed to travel with a drug counselor as he pledged to do so. He is supposed to travel with a drug counselor at all times.
Yes, because every city has a hood, and every hood has, temptations.
Wow. No comment?
I have a comment for him.
Temptation with the singers.
His comment is, I don't know no Kiana. From Belly. Thank you very much.
Man,
that is all.
Well,
I mean, shout out to him, man. You know what I'm saying?
What are you shouting him out for?
Because he'll get it together, man. He'll get it together. He'll get it together. He'll figure it out.
Gucci Mane got it together. Now we waiting for DMX to get it together.
Well,
he'll get it together.
Prayers for DMX. We pray
I'm sure.
Clean yourself up and get yourself together and get back on the road.
You know what I'm visualizing?
Yes.
You know what I'm visualizing? Because the Rough Riders tour gonna come, right? And I'm visualizing
it's
this.
Not gonna come. It was supposed to come. It was canceled.
This is what I visualize. This is what I visualize. They're gonna say, "We're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it without them." And you know that scene in the 5 Heartbeats where he dress up and he got his outfit on and he see him outside and the group's walking and they got a new member and I can still do this that. Oh, y'all remember that part? I only person saw the movie.
You talking about when Eddie came up on him?
Yes.
Dang. It's about that.
DMX. Dang. That's gonna be DMX.
Oh, that's the best.
If he don't get it together, that's gonna be DMX.
No, man, the dog gonna be.
We
good,
want DMX
man.
to be at the cookout, at the family cookout, like at the end.
And then who gonna be the person to give DMX a couple dollars and then he be like, oh, don't
Swiss
involve
Beats.
me, man.
He gonna be like, wait, man, come on. Wait, man.
Oh yeah.
Swiss Beats. Alicia Keys gonna be like, you don't know his name? I could do this all day.
I'm not laughing at that. I don't like to hear nobody going to jail about nothing though.
It's his own
unless you
fault.
deserve it. You know.
Well, he doesn't.
He does.
He knew the drug test was
he
coming.
He violated probation. He's supposed to travel with a drug counselor, which he said he would do.
And then that's what.
And he left a treatment program
early
before he was supposed to leave.
He said, "Why should I be in this room when there's nothing wrong with me?
Maybe the food was bad or something. He had to get something to eat.
I need some dogs.
It's the demons. It's the demons.
Because
y'all gonna stop that.
It's dark and hell is hot.
I'm not feeding into that right there.
You think I'm gonna get clean, but I'm not."
All right,
the Black Geraldo. I'm trying to tell you, he's the Black Geraldo.
Moving on to the next story real quick. Redman says people that show money ain't got no money. What y'all think about that? Y'all think that's a true statement? People that brag and show about their money really don't have any.
Floyd Mayweather does. He shows his money.
Yeah.
He has a lot of money. Maybe he met other people.
And I must say,
maybe he met rappers that show their money.
Redman agrees with you. He says he has no interest in bragging about the money he's making. In an interview with Hip Hop Motivation, the Funk Doc detailed how he intends to secure his family finances for years to come and dismiss entertainers that flaunt their wealth. He says, if I do an investment, I want to do it with something that's big, that's about what my, see that? That's this. Happy birthday, Tam. Redman explained he want to do something that's big, that's about that grandchildren money. Redman explained that his grandchildren, he want his grandchildren to be straight. He want that kind of money, that buying the Benz and jewelry kind of money. Niggas that show money ain't got no money.
Right.
They ain't really got no motherfucking money. Only motherfucker that could do that is Floyd Mayweather.
Is that what he said?
That's what he said.
So I met Redman, and when he came to Baltimore once, and so I was with Reggie Reg. So Reggie was like, "Yo, we hang with Redman. We downtown. What's the hotel? What's the hotel downtown? We went to the Genesis party at. What was that hotel called? Because it was in that hotel. All right, so whatever that hotel is downtown, off of Baltimore Street, near Charles Street, just right there. So Redman is
Belvedere.
No. It wasn't Belvedere. Nah. So Redman is is in the hotel, and he's smoking. But he's got people, rolling, whatever. And so they like, yo, we gonna smoke with Redman. And so I was like, I don't smoke. I'm standing out here. He's like, but we smoking with Redman. And I was like, yo, you don't even smoke. And so the particular DJ I'm talking about, who's from my neighborhood, who wears glasses, okay, he's like, I'm going to smoke with Redman. Well, actually, he didn't say that. He said, yo, I'm going to smoke with Redman. And I said, yo, you don't even smoke. He's like, but it's Redman. Okay, so he goes in there and smokes. Our other homeboy, who hangs with Quaid, used to hang with Quaid all the time, he goes in there, so you know all the people I'm talking about. So they in there smoking with Redman. I'm standing outside. They come outside so high. Super funny. But anyway, the thing about Redman is that he spent so much money on dumb stuff like looking out for his homeboys, weed, stupid stuff. I'm glad that now that he's on the tail end of his career, he finally figures out I need to save some money. Because he wasted a whole lot of money.
Though. He saved money and plus he toured a lot.
You talking about on the MTV on the Cribs show?
No, he toured a lot anyway.
The Cribs show, he lived
Did you see
uptown
that?
in country.
Did you see? Did you see him?
He lived
That house
uptown
was
in
so.
country.
I love that. Yo.
That was a good episode. That was a good
that.
episode.
I love it.
Very memorable for the young people that don't know what we're talking about.
Uptown in country.
They had this show. What was the name of the show? It was MTV Cribs, right? So they had this show called MTV Cribs where they would go to entertainers' houses and they would show you their house and give you a tour of their house. So this was like, picture like all the flyest house you could think of. They had this one episode with Redman.
No furniture.
It's a regular house, okay?
And you gotta rub the
two wires together to ring the door. You couldn't no doorbell. And he didn't have no screen in the door.
Right.
So you can lean out. It was just funny.
He said it was so easy I can just
yeah.
ain't got to worry
But
about
I like Redman. Very talented.
I love him. And that's how I would like to be. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about the flashy thing.
Okay.
That's not me.
That's K-Max speaking. Just
That's
give me all the flashy things. I'm just not gonna flaunt them.
I'm not with all that.
I think you can have the flashy things, but don't flaunt them.
I'm not with all that.
Yeah, I'm with it.
He's definitely not.
I'm not
I
with
can
all
tell
that.
y'all some stories when we get off that.
I'm definitely not saying
What? You
she
going
gonna
to
be
the
the one.
mall again?
That's the third dress this week. I wonder if my grandpa.
That was dope right there.
Went through this back in the day.
Pay for that.
Man.
Yo, don't tell me you like the father on Everybody Hates Chris.
Cheap Charles.
He's like,
Oh my god.
How much did that cost? Why it gotta be that? Why you gotta have that one? I can get you one cheaper.
they didn't have one a little inexpensive than that, baby. We had to have that one.
Why you gotta have that one?
Well, you gotta have that one.
Oh man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
I'm
can see
tight, boy.
So, what do you guys think about? And I'm gonna speak up now. I think it was fair. Kendrick Lamar winning over Cardi
Boo!
B.
The cry. I wish I had my. Boo.
He what?
Kendrick Lamar winning the Grammys over Cardi B.
You
For
think?
which category you talking about? The song of the year?
Both of them. I think it was fair.
You know, okay,
Yeah.
it's a lot. Okay, first of all, here's what the Grammys do that I don't like. They get a person that they consider to be safe and just give them everything. Because Bruno Mars, I like Bruno Mars, but Bruno Mars should have won every category. He shouldn't have. A lot of that stuff should have been spread out because it's like, okay,
Well,
Bruno
why
Mars
should
was
they
cool.
Spread it out if that
No, they
wasn't
shoulda
the
gave us the-
true votes.
It's not vote. Do you know what the Grammys is based on? It's a bunch of people that just, you know, like,
That boy put on a
industry
show,
people.
though. You
It's
hear me?
Industry
Industry
stuff.
people that
So
get
it's
together
about
and vote
connections.
on these artists.
That the Grammys is about fame, notoriety, and connections, and who's cool with who. Jay-Z, SZA, who else? Just there's a couple other people that was in categories. Some of them categories, every category wasn't Bruno Mars. Every category.
I think the artists you named, Jay-Z, SZA, they were deserving of something.
Jay-Z had
However,
the album of the year.
Bruno Mars
Kendrick
killed
had
it
got-
the past 2 years.
He didn't have the album of the year though. He had some good songs.
He had some good records.
He didn't
on there.
have the album of the year.
But radio made it like that because that's all
But
you
that's a
hear.
single.
That's all.
Yeah,
all
the
the singles.
24 Karat. That was. If you want to say that was a song of the year, I give him that. He didn't have the album of the year.
Don't that song make you feel like breaking?
But wasn't all
No.
those
Like-
songs on the same album? The 4 singles that were released, weren't they all on the same album?
Yeah.
Hold up, that song don't
So-
make you feel like breaking? Like
No.
the movie?
No,
When
no,
you hear
it's
it?
cool. He's non-threatening.
Dun,
He's cool,
dun,
but
dun,
the
dun.
Grammys always screws it up. They just always get it wrong.
That,
Always.
That song make me feel like the movie Breaking. For
Yeah,
some
but
reason.
do you know anybody who was pumping his album? No, you don't. People
don't
play
have
those
to.
songs, and my parents probably know
I'm
those
sure
songs.
it's people that do pump it.
Well, I
But
guess
you gotta think. When I think
Kendrick
of Bruno
Lamar
Mars,
or Jay-Z had the album of the year, not Bruno
But-
Mars.
I don't know if I agree with you because when I think of Bruno Mars, I think about my little 4-year-old granddaughter who was dancing to Bruno Mars at 2 and 3 years
The
old.
song, though, but I'm
who
saying she
still
don't
is.
know. She
but
knows
all
that
the
song,
people beginning from her age on up that have become fans.
but they don't have the
And
album. They only playing the
I
singles.
seen a concert with Bruno Mars the other night. That was dope.
Well, he can perform.
That boy
He
performed.
can perform. I give him
He
that.
get.
He's
I
mainstream.
love to see a good show. He gives a good show, man.
Real quick before we
Really?
get out of here, what do you think about Neil Portnell's comment, "Step it up" to the ladies?
I think it was controversial. This is the Grammy president. However, especially in this climate, I think that's the other thing. No women won any categories. Like, it was like, come on now. Some of the women.
So Bruno
like,
Mars won all this stuff.
he won all the categories that he was, like all the urban categories.
All
He
the
just
ones
won all
that
of those.
he was in,
Yes,
he won.
that's all the categories. Like,
So he took home
Him
like
and
6 or
Kendrick
7.
Lamar.
yes, Kendrick Lamar got one, I think, but that was it, and no women won at all. I think that was the snake. Like, look, y'all women gonna put on these white dresses and all these flowers and stuff, but no awards for them. Like, I don't know. I thought that was a bit much. His
But you
comment.
can't say that because they probably go by the people, like you say.
You do understand.
It's the industry people.
That's
that
industry.
vote
That's
for
behind the scenes
Grammys.
industry people. Yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, they got a committee. You know what I mean? And it's not the representation of
Do
the
you
people.
feel they're like, well, these women feeling powerful, so let's take this from them?
I do feel that. I do feel like I do. I think
Wow.
that's what happened. These are predominantly old white men picking these categories. They don't know. Now it's gotten better because in the 80s they didn't even televise the urban part, the rap category. It was one category. It was a rap category, and it didn't come on TV, and they just would show you the bottom screen. Earlier this evening, you know, such and such
Yeah, I
got an
remember
award, and the
that.
rappers was boycotting the Grammys for a long time. Then they started to come. Jay-Z and them was boycotting for a while because it was still kind of crazy. Now they getting there. They getting the nominees right, but the way they picking it is not right. They screw it up. And back to the guy's comment, he said that more women, because women were complaining about no women winning. He said more women will start winning if they step their game up. And
who said that?
What do
The
you
president
think
of
he
the
meant by
Grammys.
that? Do you think that was a sexual comment?
I don't
Or do
think
you
it was a
think he
sexual
meant
comment.
Musically, they should step
I
their
think he
game
meant
up?
musically they should step their game up. And I'm predicting, you hearing it here first, I'm predicting some type of sexual harassment allegation coming soon.
That's
from
why
him.
I said
Somebody
that.
they great digging his past, and they great find some disgruntled
Or
former
just make it up.
employee.
Like they
Or
doing
there's
everybody
always
else.
that. There's always that. But
I don't think they're making that up.
They making it.
No, they're not.
you think
Nobody
that
knows.
Russell Simmons did all the stuff they said he did?
Nope.
I think that
I don't
a
believe
lot
that.
of it,
I don't
think a
believe
lot of it was
Cosby, none of that.
consensual between him
And people
and whatever
changed,
young
you know,
lady.
a couple
that
years-
he
a
was
couple years
involved
can
with
make you
at the
change your
time.
mind.
Because back then Russell Simmons was hot. Women wanted to get on. You know
Well,
what I mean? I'm
and
not
Russell
Tell you
Simmons-
something, yo.
biased.
Russell
I don't-
Simmons
I
also
don't got none of them
was smoking
dudes.
a lot
I
of
don't
dust
have
in the
none
early
of-
80s too.
But still, I don't think none of them have to do that.
None of who?
Russell Simmons, I don't think he had to do
Well,
that back
Harvey
then.
Weinstein, he be, well, he's kind of crazy looking, but
You
so
don't have to.
nobody has to do nothing. I mean, serial killers don't have to do stuff. Rapists don't have to. They just something wrong with them.
Man, when you at that
Crazy.
stat back then at that status where Russell Simmons was with Run DMC, they was the biggest. They was big. So when you got that type of popularity, you don't need to take nothing.
But that doesn't
Or
stop people
drug
from doing it.
Huh?
That don't stop people from doing it. And
Yeah, that's true.
Like here's the thing, like
I don't believe it.
with those situations with Russell
I'm thinking
Simmons.
maybe the guys was pushy.
Yes,
because
that's where I was
females
going.
Were
That's
vulnerable
and
towards
girls can
what
change
they
their
wanted.
mind. How many times have you been in a situation where a girl like, nah, we shouldn't be doing this? You know, you probably be like, all right, then I ain't calling her no more. Well, that was me. That's what I be thinking. I ain't calling her no more. But if you one of those people that's drunk off of power, you not used to somebody telling you no.
And high.
You're like, what?
High
No.
at the same time.
Yes, we is, and then they'll force the
Yes,
situation.
we is.
Yeah, yes, we is. No proper English.
But then eventually the female be like, well, I really want to make this hit record, so maybe I should just.
These weren't artists. These were except for the one girl.
Artists, models,
yeah.
some of them were models. I mean,
I don't believe
as
it.
far I look at it as a lot of these females look to these men to make them famous.
But why
Why they
wait
want it.
so long?
Because
what?
tell her why, Tam. Tell them why, Tammy. Tell them why they waited.
They waited so long because they wanted to have an opportunity for their career to pop.
All right, Tammy,
and
Tammy,
they
you don't
didn't
know
wanna
why.
get
So you don't know why they
killed
waited.
in the process of doing
Tammy,
it.
tell them you ain't know why they waited. Okay, that's not why they waited.
That's why they
No,
waited.
it's not. So here's why they waited.
That's why.
Because most people are scared to stand alone. And when a movement happens and people see a moment, they'll think something happens to them, they don't say nothing.
Let me
but
tell
if
you
you see
something,
10
bro.
people,
BS. Cause
Let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you something, bro.
I'm telling it. I don't
When
care
something
who
like
you
that
are.
happens,
I'm telling it.
people, them women gonna tell, especially if
it's not
that's
true.
the person. They know who that is. That's a celebrity. You think they not gonna come
They
right
gonna
out
be
and say it?
scared. They gonna be scared and nobody gonna believe them.
Well, why should we believe them now?
Or because they older and they got maturity. Or
Oh, 'cause when they kids, we ain't gotta
Or
believe
it's a
'em.
situation. No, or it's a situation
I
like this.
believe 'em more if
where
they
you look at
younger.
it different. I
And
mean,
it
I've
happened.
talked about this before.
If that happened to anybody, they coming straight out. saying,
Not true.
I
Not
don't
all the
believe
time.
it.
Or
I
what
don't
if you
believe
young
it.
and you don't understand what happened?
They know.
What if you young though?
Just like all them girls is laid up there with R. Kelly. They know why they there.
If
what
anybody
they
do
doing.
something to you
I
that
don't
you don't
think
want
so.
done,
Yes,
I
they
think
do. He ain't brainwashed nobody.
I think he is. I think they
Everybody
brainwashed
said-
by the money.
Everybody said, it's R. Kelly. I'm going to. Well, females said, well, I'm going too. Well,
Yes.
shoot, you ain't going to have him by yourself. I'm going too, girl.
Yeah, that happens.
look at you.
I'm telling you, that kind of stuff happens. I done seen it. Listen, I done seen it for girls trying to get in Hammer Jacks. So I know if
I
you were
know,
talking about
man.
Madison Square Garden, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
But I
I've
don't
seen it.
think they had to do all that to get it.
They didn't. They didn't. I'm just saying the celebrity is a powerful thing. So I've got girls to do things that would probably be surprising just to entertain me with some guy just like, yeah, hook up with my homeboy. They're like, all right. And I'm like, just that you can get drunk off that power stuff. And just like you feel like you can do whatever you want to do. Then if somebody gives you a reaction that you don't want, the wrong person can be like.
I still don't think
I'm telling
the
you.
man had to do all that.
They didn't have to, but that don't mean it didn't happen. Bill Cosby, you don't think put nothing in nobody drink?
Nope.
Oh my gosh. You're in denial.
He was eating pudding.
We gotta
go.
He was eating pudding. I don't believe that. Them people wait all this time to come out. Why?
So is a time limit on it?
Yeah.
Do you believe that?
You're supposed to tell that when that type of stuff go down, you're supposed to tell that right then and
Do you
there.
believe
Especially
that
if
G- do you believe
Bill
that
Cosby did that to me. He fondled me.
Do you believe that G Depp?
Nigga, Bill Cosby pinched my ass, man. I don't like that shit. They gonna tell it.
No. Do you believe that G Depp killed the people that he came and confessed to 20 years later because he said it was eating him up?
Because he confessed.
Yes, but it was 20 years later.
I
and
don't
the
care.
whole run.
He came up and confessed.
So do you believe he did it? Do you believe he did it?
Yeah, because he said he did
It was 20 years later when he came out and said it. And he's in jail for it now.
Yep. Because he
How's
know
that
he
any
did it.
different?
That's a crime that he committed himself.
Okay.
That,
That
was
he
eating him
knew
up on the inside.
That he did it.
If one of his
It
accomplices
ain't like Bill
came and
Cosby
said,
"This is eating me up on the inside."
he
I
told
did
jokes about it.
XYZ
He
to
told
these
jokes
women.
about it. Bill
When?
Cosby did it. Yes.
When?
He told jokes
I
about
ain't never
it.
When?
heard a hearty ha 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 about it.
It's called Spanish Fly. Type it. No, I'm serious. We going out to Spanish Fly.
Spanish Fly.
Yes. Spanish Fly.
No, we not doing
We
that.
are Real
Yes, we
Spit
are.
Radio. Make
You
sure
need to
you
hear this.
follow us on IG. Follow us at Real Spit Radio.
Yes,
Follow us
yes.
at Real Spit Radio. I'm Tammy Too Much on Facebook.
You are too much.
I am Tammy Too Much on Facebook now, y'all. I got a new Facebook page. So I'm Tammy Too Much on Facebook. Tammy _Too Much on Instagram. And Tammy Too Much on Twitter.
I'm Kevin Knoxville on Facebook. I'm Knoxville 308 on IG. Knoxville 36 on Twitter. Also, don't forget, February 16th, I'll be performing live at the Baltimore Soundstage for the Frozen Harbor Music Festival 2018. Make sure y'all get y'all tickets. Hit us up, DM me, whatever. If you need tickets, holler at me. I'll get them right to you. Also, February 2nd, my very first album, 1996 classic, Unlimited, will be available for purchase.
Make sure you follow K-Mac Knoxville on Instagram, Knoxville308.
I said that.
I know that, but
Thank
make sure
you.
you look for him on the 3rd episode of the Big Mo Comedy
Yeah, shout out
Show
to Big Mo, too.
on Channel 19, Montgomery County
Yeah.
Station. Yes. And again, we are Real Spit Radio. Follow us on IG, Real Spit Radio. We are Real Spit Radio on RadioOnFire.com. See you next week.
Next week.
Peace.